Hi, welcome to this episode of Herald Cafe. Today we've got Ms Bina Nayak. She's a illustrator, designer and a writer. And congratulations
Thank you.
that we get a chance to have a conversation with you. And congratulations again for your Starfish Pickle.
Thank you.
And it's great that that book is going to become a film, and shoot is going on in Malta.
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Feels good. It feels a little odd also because I never expected it to, be turned into a movie. It was just enough that the book was being published. So this is like a bonus.
Nice. And tell us about the journey. You wrote the book many years back, and you've been trying to look for a publisher. What was the process that it has turned to a screenplay now?
Yeah. So basically, I wrote the book in 2003 when I was working at Ogilvy. And it was just one of the things I was doing on the side. It was not, I was writing for myself basically. And I didn't immediately start looking for publishers.
Right.
I wrote it, I sent it out, I got one literary agent, he was a British agent. And after that, the book required some work, because basically it was very specific to Goa.
Okay.
So there are certain cultural symbolisms which only maybe Goans will get. So
Right.
I needed to do a bit of rework to make it a little more clearer. And I didn't have the time at that point
Because you were
I was
working,
working
yeah.
in Bombay, I was working in advertising. I would come home every night at 1 and 2 in the morning actually.
Okay, yeah.
Then sit for 1 hour on the computer and then had to get up again at 5:36 to go back to work.
What a
Rinse,
life.
repeat.
Yeah.
That was the life. So I would be literally taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps backward because I would be editing in my sleep, I would be rewriting in my sleep. And then at some point, like even that agent, he was like, you know what, you need to take a break from work for 3 months.
Right.
And imagine telling that to somebody who's in advertising and in
Yes.
Bombay.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, forget the book.
Mm.
This is my life.
Yeah.
This is what earns me money. This is something that's happening on this side. I cannot do it right now, so let's
Let
keep
me
it aside.
prioritize.
Yeah, so I prioritized. At that point, I had a little kid also. My kid was 5 that time. So I was like, I cannot, do this. This is one added thing I'm adding to my life. I don't need this. And I kind of kept it aside. Then I came to Goa and then, I kind of just stayed into designing and
Yes.
I then met Frederick Norona, who was into publishing,
Yes.
and I started designing covers for him. And he kind of saw that I had a flair for writing because I used to do ads for GTDC and all.
Okay.
So he suggested that I should revive it and maybe he'll publish it. But eventually even that didn't happen because he used to not publish fiction.
Okay.
He used to mostly publish non-fiction, Goa-based stories, but non-fiction. And he wasn't confident that he would be, able to market a book fiction, which was a little kind of a slightly different subject.
Yes.
So again, it was kept on the side. Finally, I got so fed up and I was going to delete the file because it had
Wow.
become like an obsession. Imagine from 2003 till 2017 or 18, I'm talking about now.
Yes. Yeah.
And I got fed up of looking at it and I was like, unless or until I delete this file, I will not be able to move forward and write others.
Yes.
Because I had a whole lot of other stories too.
True. Yeah.
So, and just as I was going to delete it, I said, chalo, one last chance. And that's when I got this agent who is my current agent, and he took it forward. So literally it was like, just when you're going to finish it, it kind of gets revived.
The light in the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was.
Nice. Talking about the book, tell us about your protagonist, Tara Salgaonkar,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
And I hope the film script, the writer who is doing the film script will retain that character.
The
as
name
much
is
as-
there.
Okay.
See, from what I understood, Tara Salgaonkar is the only one who retains the name. I think she is still a Goan, but they've probably changed the names of the other divers. So
Okay.
it's a little bit of creative, whatever they've taken.
Tell us a little bit about Tara Salgaonkar.
Yeah, so Tara Salgaonkar is a Goan girl she's like a Bombay Goan, born and brought up in Bombay, who then comes back to stay in her ancestral house in Saligaon. And she's a trained, she's a marine engineer, and so she joins a dredging company, becomes a deep sea diver, and it's all about the trials and tribulations of a deep sea diver in Goa.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I've used that to show the ill effects of tourism. I've talked about how, you know, they have to, like even the Navy has to kind of rescue people who are drowning or have to fish out dead bodies. And you know, that's the other side of tourism, and that is
Yes.
what a lot of people don't get to see.
True.
So I use that to kind of highlight all the things that are wrong.
Mhm.
And yeah.
And through her eyes.
Through
like,
her eyes,
Yeah.
through what she sees, because the
Okay.
Goa she sees as a local is not the Goa that the tourists see, or the people who come for a
Yes.
very short time, or the people who just stick to the cities and don't go, you know,
Do not scratch the surface.
yeah,
like that.
just stick
Yeah.
to the pretty parts of Goa.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I would also like to know a little bit about your journey from studying BFA in Sir
Yeah.
J.J. College of
Yeah.
Arts,
Yeah.
from then to your advertising, writing, and
Yeah.
I'm sure our audience have seen most of your cover designs in Goa 1556 and
I
other
don't know if the
publications.
audience sees that.
For sure, because I have seen your covers with Frederick's Goa 1556. Tell us about your journey from your college to what were your inspirations, motivations, and
Sure.
then you came here, your love
Yeah.
for Goa.
Yeah. So after college, School of Art, I joined advertising. And in my very first job, I was with Spear Communications.
Okay.
That was in Colaba. So in my very first job, I kind of, my very first assignment that I was given, I started also writing the copy.
Okay.
So, like, there is this thing that there's this little dynamic that used to happen. So, you know, advertising has changed a lot. Like, everybody's doing digital, but there was a time when even before the Macs were there,
Yes.
we used to send work out for typesetting, and there would be
Yes.
crazy deadlines, and the ad had to go to the newspaper like before 12. Like, there
Yes.
was a time, you know, we used to
Yes.
stick to that time. So all of us used to be in office till 12, 1, you know, like just like the newspapers used to work,
Yes.
the ad agencies used to work.
Okay.
Now it's all changed where you can just email the file and, you know, none of that. So I'm talking about 91, okay, that's when I started. That was my first job. So there itself, I kind of, to speed up things,
Yes.
I started writing for my own designs. Because what happens is,
Without like.
there was a
No,
copywriter I had to
yeah.
work with,
Okay.
but usually what happens is copywriters are rolling joints, and you know they start working at
their
5
own
in the
pace.
evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so your timings are supposed to be always 9 to 6.
Yes.
Nobody, of course, you work from 9 to 12 or 9 to 9 the next day, it doesn't matter. But the point is, you come to work and designers, you know, used to wait, we start designing, where's the copy? The guys, yeah, I'm getting inspired, yeah, wait. Yeah. So I has to get fed up, and I would be like, okay, you get inspired, till then I'm putting a placeholder copy.
Yes.
And my placeholder copy used to get approved always.
Nice.
So then at some point they said, you know what, you sit, like literally like being punished. You sit over there, you sit and do everything yourself. And if we need you to work with a copywriter, we'll make you work with a copywriter. So yes, I have worked with copywriters, and when I've worked with copywriters, it's been fantastic. But I started writing just to save on time, you know, so I could finish my work and go home. Because
Yes,
my life
yeah,
used to happen outside, but a
Yeah.
lot of people used to tend to just hang around in the office. You know, I was not like that. I wanted to go swimming, I wanted to go catch movies, I wanted to do other things. So that's how the habit started, and that's how I started writing.
And about your, how long have you been staying in Goa now?
So I moved to Goa from Bombay in 2003,
Okay.
like after the book was written and all.
Okay.
I used to come to Goa every year for, you know, it's my native place, so summer holidays.
In
and all.
River itself?
No, from
Okay.
Para. I'm
Okay.
originally from Para.
Okay.
So I used to keep coming to Goa often, but for me, Goa was always a holiday place. I never thought I would settle down. But I moved in 2003 when we built our own house over
Okay,
there in
okay.
ancestral property. So then I decided to move, and since then I've been coming on and off. I stayed one big chunk till 2008.
Okay.
Then I moved back. Then I kept coming back and forth. Now I've like again settled down for good. Like after, I would say after COVID, 2019, 2020.
But you didn't grow up in Para?
I didn't grow up in Para. I grew up in Bombay.
Okay.
I did all my schooling, my at least 10 years of working in Bombay, and then I moved here.
And another thing I want to ask you about this, in an interview with Dolce also you have wrote about that how OTT platforms are helping writers,
Yeah.
you know, it's given up more opportunities, more possibilities for people to pick it up. Do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, so at least when I, like say, if you look at how things were at least 10 or 20 years ago, you would have to be a really well-known writer for your book to be converted into a movie, at least in India.
True.
I would say, you know, because they would pick up only known writers, you know, like Chetan Bhagat, and, you know, sold so many copies. But now what's happening is because it's like everyday people wake up and they are like, Netflix mein naya kya hai?
Yeah.
Prime Video pe what is new? You know, there's so many of them. So imagine so many platforms, and every day people want to see a new movie. So they are just open to getting more and more ideas. You can't wait to just have stories of just well-known authors. And that's not to say the new authors are also good.
Yeah.
You know, so it's opened out for everybody now. So like the publishers are publishing, movie deals are happening, then I guess it's a good time.
Yeah, but again, continuing with this question, you know, like your second book is coming up and it is going to be published by HarperCollins, what I have heard. And how creatively, how much control on creativity that you have if somebody big like Netflix or somebody picks up your projects, you know, picks up your books? Do you have any say into that?
Yeah, so with the first book, Netflix doesn't directly pick up. So it'll be a production house that will buy this, the book rights, the movie rights. Then they make it and they have a deal with Netflix. So that's what. Now, the way the contract was done, I did not have a say with the first book movie deal.
Starfish Pickle.
Yeah, Starfish Pickle.
Why not?
Because that's how it was. That's what the producer wanted. Because they were making, now T-Series is making it. So it's a completely commercial film. There's going to be song and dance. If they had told me this first thing, I would have said, I may have said, no, it's a little serious. But it's how they see it. And I said, okay, fine. Like my book is separate, the movie is separate. Fine, more people will get to know about it. Hopefully they will pick up the book after seeing the movie, maybe.
Yes.
And maybe the two things will feed off each other, doesn't matter. And, you know, really, like I did speak to a lot of people and everybody was like, you know, it's a big thing that you're getting published. It's a big thing you're getting paid for it.
True.
You know, so don't be fussy with your first book. Later on, as you do well, as you write more books, you will have more say.
More controls.
So, more control. So now I was like, as it is for so long, it was stewing in my computer. I was just happy to let it go.
True. And let it go also in such a nicer fashion. When do you think it will get released?
I don't know yet, but they've said before the end of this year.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's
It is a bilingual film? English?
I don't know. I
okay,
really
you will
don't know.
not
It
know.
might be Hindi, English.
Okay,
I
okay,
don't
okay.
know. I mean, if the book is Hindi, the book has got a lot of English, a lot of Konkani, so I'm assuming they will stick to some of it, or it could be all Hindi.
Also, now we're coming to an end of this conversation. I would like to ask you about the possibilities of graphic designers or the illustrators or the designers here, the Goan guys, you know, what are the opportunities they have here in Goa, like rather than going to Bombay or Bangalore? Are there, is there
For graphic design?
Yeah, or illustrators and all. But
you know, when I had come in 2003, there were hardly any agencies in Goa. There were some 2-3 big ones, and they were the ones who did all the work.
okay.
The good thing about COVID, good thing, all the bad things,
Yes,
keep them aside. The good thing is a lot of the agencies, media houses, even, you know, boutique design agencies have moved to Goa.
They have now recently?
Yes,
Okay.
there are so many of them,
Yes?
so many. And in little villages, like even in Para, like, you know, there are some agencies functioning, and there are these cafes that also work with, you know, they give you a platform if you are a designer.
Okay.
So you just need to like look around, check on Facebook itself. There are forums, and it's opened out. You just have to go out there and keep showing your work, and it's a lot easier now. But of course, as it is opened out, there is more competition too.
True. Yeah.
So it's good times. I feel there's a lot more scope out there.
And any last line about young designers who want to pursue a creative field from your experience?
Just work hard, pay attention to your work. Money will definitely come. It always does. It may not come immediately for you to kind of show off on Instagram and all, but pay attention to your work and definitely you will do well.
And how will these aspiring designers will keep themselves inspired? What is the mantra to keep them motivated all the time, you know?
Well, I would say find a hero in your field. You know?
Okay.
Like, you may not even know that person, he or she may not, you may not have even met them personally,
Okay.
but follow their work. Maybe, you know, that's like, I have a few heroes. I kind of follow their work, and I always think, what would this person think about my design? You know, like, can it be better? Like, how would these have been my ex-bosses? And you know, I always remember the conversations we used to have, and I would say, how would this person react? Would he or she say this, or would maybe I should make it better? So have some kind of a standard, and that standard can be some other person, you know, with very good levels of excellence in that particular field.
Great.
And that kind of helps you. There's one more thing I wanted to tell you, because I didn't kind of complete. We were talking about Netflix and you know, the creative controls. So one of the misconceptions that a lot of young writers have is that when big publishers acquire work, they make changes. That's not always true. So this is from my experience. What I have realized is, very often when we as writers write, we are so much into our story that we are not objective, that we don't take a step back and see what it feels like. And when you show it to your friends and relatives, they will always support you. They will always say nice things. So they will not be able to critically tell you, you know, that this is not working or that is not working. It's only a neutral person who, when they look at it and read it with fresh eyes, they will tell you that, you know what, I don't understand this. Maybe it's a very typical thing. Maybe it's culturally specific to that place. Like, my 2 novels were based in Goa, so Goa's things are a little different from the rest of the country. So I had to clarify certain things. You always have to do that. It's not like the editor will do it for you. You have to do it yourself. They will only tell you that, you know, maybe this is required. You also have the choice to say, no, but I think this works and maybe we should go ahead. So it's always there. So I don't think people should fear that, you know, if I go to a big publisher, or if I try to even pitch it to somebody, they will make changes. And sometimes the changes are good, you know, because they know, these people, they look at it from the marketing perspective also, and they know what works. So
they've been trained and they've been there for a long time. Thank you, Ms. Nayak. It's a great advice for the people to follow a hero. Huh?
Thank you.
That's you can do a comparative analysis or like do a point of view exchange. Very nice. Thank you, audience, for being with us, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.